Snowflakes fell gently onto the quiet streets of New York City on Christmas Eve. The stores had already closed. Lights twinkled in windows, and families hurried home with their last-minute gifts. But while most people prepared to celebrate, one man sat in the back seat of his sleek black SUV, staring out at the city with a heavy heart. His name was Daniel Carter, a successful real estate mogul. Daniel had built his fortune from the ground up. He had everything: wealth, power, a beautiful house in the Hamptons, and more luxury cars than he could ever drive. But what made him different from other millionaires was the little boy sleeping beside him in the car seat, his 5-year-old son, Ethan. Daniel had been raising Ethan alone since his wife passed away 2 years ago, and despite all the money in the world, he couldn't buy away the loneliness, nor could he fill the quiet spaces where laughter used to echo. Christmas had never felt the same. As the car slowed at a red light near an alley, Daniel's eyes caught something unusual: a young woman, thin and shivering, rummaging through a trash bin. Her hair was tangled, her coat ripped, and her hands raw from the cold. Without thinking, Daniel rolled down his window. "Hey, are you okay?" he called out. Startled, the woman froze like a deer in headlights. For a moment she seemed ready to run, but then in a voice so soft it almost disappeared into the night, she answered, "I'm just looking for something warm. Maybe scraps. I haven't eaten since yesterday." Her words hit him harder than any business deal ever could. Daniel glanced at Ethan, then back at the woman. It was Christmas Eve. No one should be digging through trash for food. Not tonight. Not ever. He opened the door and stepped out, the cold wind biting his face. "Come with me," he said firmly. The woman shook her head. "No, I can't. People don't want someone like me near them. I'll be fine." But Daniel wouldn't move. "My son's in the car. We're on our way home. If you want, you can join us for dinner. Nothing fancy, just food, warmth, and maybe some company." Tears welled up in her eyes. No stranger had ever spoken to her that way. She hesitated, but hunger and exhaustion overpowered her pride. Slowly, she nodded. Back at Daniel's penthouse, Ethan woke up to find a new friend sitting at the dining table. The woman introduced herself as Claire. Once, she explained, she had been a nurse, but when her mother passed away and medical bills piled up, she lost her job, her apartment, and eventually her stability. Everything spiraled out of control. Listening to her story, Daniel felt something stir inside him. He remembered his own dark nights after losing his wife, the nights when he thought he couldn't go on. But he had Ethan to keep him fighting. Claire, on the other hand, had no one. Dinner stretched into hours. Claire laughed softly at Ethan's jokes, and for the first time in years, Daniel felt like his home was filled with warmth again. After dessert, Claire stood to leave. "Thank you, more than I can say, but I should go." Daniel frowned. "Go where? Back to the streets?" She lowered her gaze. "I don't want to be a burden. You've done enough." But then Ethan ran over and hugged her leg. "Don't go," he pleaded. "Stay, it's Christmas." Something cracked inside Daniel. He realized this wasn't just about charity, it was about humanity, about giving someone a second chance, the way life had once given him one. Over the following weeks, Daniel helped Claire get back on her feet. He connected her with a clinic where she could restart her nursing career, gave her a safe place to stay, and even enrolled her in a program for women rebuilding their lives. But what Daniel didn't expect was how much he needed her too. Claire's kindness, her resilience, her quiet strength began to heal parts of his heart that had long been broken. One evening, as they watched Ethan build a snowman outside, Claire whispered, "Do you know what I said to myself when I was digging through that trash?" Daniel shook his head. "I said, oh God, if you're out there, send me a sign, just one reason to keep going." She looked at him with tears in her eyes. "Then you showed up." Daniel's throat tightened. In that moment he realized the twist he hadn't seen coming. He thought he was rescuing her, but in truth, she had rescued him too. The following Christmas Eve, Claire and Daniel stood side by side in their living room. Ethan tore open presents under the tree, giggling with joy. Snow fell softly outside, but this time the house was alive with warmth, laughter, and hope. Daniel wrapped an arm around Claire. "Funny," he said quietly. "I thought I was giving you a second chance. Turns out you gave me one too." And for the first time in years, Christmas felt like Christmas again. Sometimes kindness given to a stranger comes back as the greatest gift of all, a reminder that no one is ever truly alone.